When was the last time that you looked around Reddit to try to find people that had failed miserably at investing?
I've never done that before.
If I'm being honest, this is a little bit depressing, and you begin to get kind of concerned for some of the people that post. The first one I could find is somebody who lost $6,243, which is a 99.99% loss on their account. The second one was worse. So the next person lost $33,940, which was about 87% of their account. And finally, the worst one I could find is when somebody lost $127,138, which was about 95% of their account, and is a significant amount of money. Now, I don't want you or me to have any type of outcome like this, right? So I sat down and talked with AI about the absolute worst investment strategies out there so that we could basically understand what not to do. And here's what it had to say. Hey AI, I want to invest money into the stock market, but I don't want to do it the wrong way. What are the 5 absolute worst investment strategies so that I know what to avoid?
The first strategy you should avoid is trying to time the market. This is when investors attempt to predict the perfect moments to buy low and sell high. It sounds great in theory, but in practice, it's incredibly difficult and risky. Here's why it's a bad idea. It's nearly impossible to predict market movements consistently. You might miss out on significant gains while waiting for the perfect moment. It can lead to emotional decision-making, which often results in poor choices. Instead of trying to time the market, a better strategy is to focus on long-term investing and dollar-cost averaging. This means investing consistently over time, regardless of market conditions. It's less stressful and typically more effective for most investors.
One of my favorite sayings that Warren Buffett popularized is time in the market beats timing the market. Meaning, if you're trying to time the market and figure things out and figure out when to invest and when to pull it, bad idea.
No, that's the worst idea I ever heard.
But if you consistently invest in the market over time, you are much more likely to come out on top. It's widely accepted that if you use dollar cost averaging to invest in broad market index funds every single month or week or bi-monthly, whatever it may be, that generally speaking, you can expect around a 10% return on average each year. Now, conversely, if you look at day traders, I couldn't find the exact numbers of what their returns are, but what I did find said that only 1 to 3% of day traders actually make money in what they're trying to do. So the first strategy about timing the market is absolutely valid, right? And I thought AI had a really good point. Now, I wanted to see the next one here, and I have to say that I was a little bit surprised that this one was so high up the list.
The second strategy to steer clear of is chasing hot stocks. This is when investors jump on the bandwagon of stocks that have recently seen a surge in popularity or price, often due to media hype or social media buzz. Here's why this strategy is problematic. Volatility. Hot stocks are often highly volatile, meaning their prices can swing dramatically in a short period. Overvaluation. By the time a stock is labeled hot, it may already be overvalued, leaving little room for further growth. FOMO, fear of missing out. This emotional response can lead to impulsive decisions, causing investors to buy high and potentially sell low when the hype fades.
If this one doesn't scream GameStop, I don't know which one does. Now, we've all heard of these meme stocks, and generally speaking, it's accepted that they can be very speculative investments. Now, some people have made millions off of them. Some people have made a lot of money and then lost a lot of money. And then other people just entered at the wrong time and they never made anything. They just lost a lot of money, period. Heck, they even made a movie about the entire phenomenon called Dumb Money. And to be honest with you, I watched it. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty interesting story. And this is absolutely a bad investment strategy. There's no doubt about it. And you may ask, well, how do I know? Well, this guy right here decided at one point that he was going to invest in AMC and Dogecoin because they might double or triple. And what they ended up actually doing was losing me each a couple $100. I didn't go in too heavy. But yeah, it's just something that you really shouldn't do. And I'm guilty of it, but don't get that FOMO. Don't do it. So yeah, this is definitely a good one to avoid. Let's look at the next one.
The third strategy to avoid is ignoring diversification. This involves putting all your investment eggs in one basket, such as investing heavily in a single stock or sector. Here's why this is a risky move. Increased risk. If your investments are concentrated in one area, You're more vulnerable to market fluctuations affecting that specific stock or sector. Potential for significant losses. A downturn in that area can lead to substantial financial losses. Missed opportunities. By not diversifying, you might miss out on gains from other sectors or asset classes that perform well.
This is one that admittedly I have not been so great at myself, especially in the past, but I'm trying to get better at it. So usually when I have an investment portfolio, what I've been doing is I have about 70% in stock and 30% in index funds. And of that 70% that's in stock, most of it is also in tech. Now, I know this isn't perfect, right? And I think everyone would agree it's not perfect, but over the last 3 years, I've been getting crazy good returns. I know tech pretty well because I'm in the industry, so I've pretty much kind of let it ride. However, a few weeks back, the market kind of got a little crazy when the whole Japan thing happened and everyone kind of freaked out. I actually freaked out along with that myself, and I decided, you know what, I need to take some earnings off the table and just really rebalance the portfolio. So that's pretty much what I did. I instead of having it the way that I was, the 70-30 most in tech, what I did was I got it closer to a 50-50, so 50% in stocks, 50% in funds. And then also the stocks that I'm invested in, I still have a little bit more tech than the other things, but I'm definitely diversified better than I was. So before I rebalanced, I remember there was some really bad days where I was losing 15, 20 grand in a day, right? And I'd also make 15 or 20 grand a day, which felt great, but I was losing that amount of money. And that was really getting on my mind and personally making me sick to my stomach. So I basically couldn't do it. So again, from personal experience, I agree that being well diversified is absolutely crucial to staying level-headed and not getting emotional and continuing your investment goals. Now, definitely a good list so far. I wish a lot more people would listen to the next one that AI talked about.
The fourth strategy to avoid is overreacting to market news. This involves making impulsive investment decisions based on short-term news events or market fluctuations. Here's why this approach can be detrimental. Emotional decision-making. Reacting hastily to news can lead to decisions driven by fear or greed, which often result in poor investment outcomes. Market noise. Not all news has a long-term impact on the market, and reacting to every piece of information can lead to unnecessary trading and transaction costs. Missed long-term gains. Selling investments during market downturns can lock in losses and prevent you from benefiting from eventual recoveries.
So for my thoughts here, I have to tell you a little bit of a story. So about 10 years ago, I kind of realized that the market is really kind of a rumor mill. Meaning that, you know, there could be an earnings call that went really well, and you've probably seen this before. An earnings call goes well, but a company maybe falls, or just nothing seems good that actually happens to the company. And then you dig in more and you find out that there was some bad news about the company, or there's a lot of stuff on social media about the company. In other words, the public sentiment about the company at that time isn't really that good. And that can really impact a stock price in a way that frankly isn't even logical. Now, I was an early investor in Facebook, meaning when it went public, I invested early in it, right? And I remember month after month, they were just crushing earnings and they were doing incredibly well and they weren't slowing down at all. And I remember one call specifically, right, where they had beat, I think that they had a earnings beat of over 10% or 15%, revenue, earnings, everything was looking good. And the CFO opened his mouth and he said, yeah, things are good, but we are losing some ground with the younger generations. So eventually that may impact the stock. Now, you would think from that statement that guy said, Mark Zuckerberg is out of here, because I remember how stupid that week was, right? So they reported it, and then what ended up happening was the day after they reported it, the after hours earnings was down 5%, which again, not logical because the company is doing really well, right? So that wasn't logical. The whole week, all the media, social media, everyone was talking about how Facebook was losing younger viewers, et cetera. And for the whole week, I remember it went down by 12%. Which was so stupid because it was a very sound business that was growing really well. So I think the moral there is that people, when they read things, they overreact very often, and they may have a sell-off that isn't logical, isn't based on numbers, isn't based on anything other than how they feel. So when you're an investor and when you're investing, you need to keep those things in mind. So yeah, that one is great advice. But let's go ahead and move to the next one.
The fifth strategy to avoid is neglecting to do your own research. This involves relying solely on tips from friends, family, or so-called experts without thoroughly understanding the investments you're making. Here's why this can be problematic. Lack of understanding. Without proper research, you may not fully understand the risks and potential rewards of an investment. Over-reliance on others. Relying on others' advice can lead to investments that don't align with your financial goals or risk tolerance. Susceptibility to scams. Without due diligence, you might fall victim to investment scams or misleading information.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So I know I'm guilty of this, and I think that you probably are, and anybody that you know that invests as well. So many people don't do this enough. Now, often I will look at companies, right? I'll look at the public sentiment, I'll see what people think of the company. I'll look at some numbers, the earnings per share and the revenue numbers, see how they're kind of trending quarterly. And then I'll just say, yeah, you know what, let's buy it. And I'll throw tens of thousands of dollars into it without really thinking, which frankly is pretty dumb on me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And though that has worked for me thus far, I gotta give myself credit, it's really not all that technical. And I need to get better at this myself. So, now I'm starting to look at that PEG ratio, and I'm also starting to look at free cash flow as well to understand not just what people think and how they have been, but the current fiscal situation within the company to better understand their numbers as well. So I started to do this after I spoke with AI about how to analyze stocks. You can watch the video right here. Highly, highly recommend that you click that. Very good video, but it helps you understand fiscally where companies are at and the different metrics that you want to look into. And it's just a lot more analytical than what I used to be. So go check this video out. It's incredibly helpful and it helps you understand how to really analyze stocks before you fully commit and buy them. And as always, remember to subscribe to the channel to unlock financial success one AI chat at a time. See you next time.